And let's get right into it.
All right, cool. So, what's up?
Not much.
Yeah, same here. It's just a regular day. So, did you watch the Super Bowl yesterday?
The Super Bowl. Nope. Don't know,
Honest,
don't care.
yeah, honestly, me neither. I logged back in. I logged back into Twitter, and I guess apparently people were booing Taylor Swift. I don't know. I mean, I personally don't care. That's just what I saw, and I went back on Twitter to many surprises. One, apparently Kanye West was posting porn, and I don't get. I'll be honest. I don't know what he's on or what's wrong with him. But I can kind of see why people thought he was. What did people say he was before?
Kanye.
No, not the name. I mean, what did they say that he was before? Because people thought he was crazy.
Uh, not sure.
It's a word for it, but anyways, yeah. It's like I can pretty much see why people thought he was off his rocker. That's all I'm gonna say. It's like it's very disappointing, but I said, you know what? I'm probably gonna take 5 months off because of him now. I was gonna try to take 1 to 2 months, but now I'm probably gonna take 5 months off because of him, bro. Because it's like I don't know. It is what it is at the end of the day. But I guess we'll talk about more of that later. Is there anything else in the news?
The Baltic nations have cut its energy reliance from Russia.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time. My sound goes down every single time my phone's about to die.
Okay. So, the Baltic countries of Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania have recently announced they will no longer get their electricity from Russia.
Hmm. All right, that's a pretty bold move. Why?
Well, for the last few years, possibly decades, Russia has a huge energy supply, whether it be gas, natural gas. Gas is always coming to my mind when it comes to energy from Russia, because Russia has tons of it, and I think the Baltic countries have been using the power from such gas naturally from Russia to power homes and buildings and businesses across Estonia, Lithuania, and Latvia. And recently, they're like, no, we're done getting energy from Russia. We're switching to the European Union's energy supply. And they did just that. And
Hmm.
and the thing is, having the Baltic nations still getting their electricity from Russia gives Russia a reason, at least it gives Russia a bargaining chip to ensure that everything between them and Russia goes in Russia's favor. But since the Baltic nations are no longer getting power from Russia, what kind of grasp does Russia have on them now?
Hmm. That's a fair point. And I gotta say, man, hey, as long as they're able to do what they gotta do, to operate on an everyday life, then I say do it. Yeah, it's they really have no real ties to Russia anymore. No, nor does Russia have that, leverage on them anymore to do is Russia doesn't have that leverage on them anymore, so they don't have to do what Russia says anymore if they don't want to.
Exactly.
So I say that's a good thing. Separate becoming more independent, becoming just separating yourself from something that you probably don't agree with intrinsically. So therefore, hey, I gotta say, I have to applaud them for that. I'll give them that. They're definitely willing to separate themselves from certain places that they don't agree with. I wonder why they decided to do it now. It's was it just a specific rule that they didn't agree with, or just they didn't want to be ruled over?
I think it's gotten to a point where Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania are like, no, we're done getting power from Russia. Let's make the switch. And I think there was a countdown before the Baltic nations cut off their connection with Russian power, and then from 24 hours for 24 hours since the cutoff, the authorities in those Baltic countries have advised their people to not use power, don't go out. They they're just using whatever power is stored within their nations until after the 24 hours is up, then they switch over to the European Union power supply.
Mm. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Hey, do what you got to do. dude. Yeah, just simply do what you got to do. That's really all I have to say about that. I mean, yeah, that's all I got to say. Do you have anything else to say?
No? Well, other than the fact that, regardless of the situation, I don't think Russia cares all that much about giving power to the Baltics. If there is, then maybe that's an issue for them. But I think Russia still has many things going for them.
Yeah, you're
Now,
absolutely
not
right.
not
Russia.
not sure exactly what it is, but eventually, those stuff will come to light. People will talk about it. They're going to be outraged, and it just comes to show that nothing can beat Russia, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I mean, they definitely have a lot going on for them, and yeah, Russia definitely has a whole lot going on for them, and yeah, and they're like, we don't need you. We have more going on for. They just have a lot. Russia just most likely has a lot more to going on for them than what we know.
Exactly.
Yeah, but is there anything else in the news?
3 countries have been banned from playing in the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
Wait, hold on. Say that one more time.
3 countries have been banned from playing in the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
Oh, wow. How come?
Well, roughly from the top of my head, well, one of the 3 countries is Russia already because of what was going on between them and Ukraine. The 2 other countries just announced this month, roughly this month, that they are no longer allowed to take part in any FIFA affiliated tournaments. One of which, first of the other 2 of the 3, besides Russia, is Pakistan. I think there's some, well, another country is also the Congo, and roughly the reasons for those 2 countries not being able to be taking part in FIFA matches, something has to do with government interference with the Soccer Football Federation. That's at least a rough idea.
Or they're just afraid. Nah, I'm joking. But anyways, yeah, it's huh. I mean, that is weird to just take someone off the takes someone cut prevent someone or just people from competing in general. That is weird, but I really don't know about sports that much to really care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I care about sports, but just eh. Oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Sports, but the sports that you know about mostly more often than
Yeah,
not.
shoot, I don't even watch bowling, but I'd probably care about. I'd probably care about bowling more.
Fair enough.
I don't
Well,
even.
Pakistan, I understand. Like, this is not the first time Pakistan has been banned from FIFA tournaments, but the Congo? That was a shock for me. Well, well, I'm not saying I don't hear much about African countries and what goes on in there in Africa, but of all countries most likely for not being able to take part, I would never think the Congo would be one of those countries.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Yeah, I 100% agree. Is there anything else in the news?
Yes. T-Mobile, Starlink starts wide-scale testing of satellite-based connectivity.
Interesting. What do you think about that?
Well, this is a grey area for me, for many reasons. On one hand, easy access to the internet, because, well, we need the internet for many things. But on the other hand, what if it's some kind of gain? What if there is someone in charge of companies that's involved in such technological innovation and thought they use whatever powers they have to prevent people in particular circumstances to not get such access?
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, I mean that could definitely be a dilemma. I will admit that. That could definitely be a huge dilemma. But for the most part, you gotta just gotta hope for the best.
Yes,
Hmm. Is there anything else in the news?
indeed there is. International Criminal Court opens inquiry into Italy over release of Libyan warlord.
Wait, hold on. Say that one more time.
International Criminal Court opens inquiry into Italy over release of Libyan warlord.
I'm not really 100% familiar with that.
Well, whatever it is, it doesn't sound very good.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't. Is there any more about it?
Yes, judges at the International Criminal Court have officially asked Italy on Monday to explain why the country released a Libyan man suspected of torture, murder, and rape rather than sending him to The Hague.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't really know much about that.
It's first.
Yeah, same here. Hold on, give me a minute.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, I just had to send a message real quick. But, is there anything else in the news?
Monkey blamed for causing nationwide power outage in Sri Lanka.
Wait, what? A monkey? Did I hear that right?
Yeah. Yes, a monkey blamed for causing nationwide power outage in Sri Lanka.
Okay, what did the monkey do?
A monkey triggered a nationwide power outage in Sri Lanka on Sunday, affecting millions as temperatures rose above 86 degrees Fahrenheit. The animal is said to have come into contact with a grid transformer, causing a disruption in the power system.
A monkey did that.
Yeah,
Wow. That's
that's wild.
that has to be one smart monkey then. Shoot. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
more you
mean,
know.
I feel like you're gonna hear like a lot of people talking about evolution, like, oh, the monkey. You know, it's not, I don't know. I feel like you would hear something from the evolution people.
Yeah,
I don't know. Then again, if evolution was really that valid, wouldn't there be no monkeys at all then? I don't know.
yeah.
Because like
Or
that,
maybe it could evolve into something else.
like what?
It's,
A fish?
well, maybe. Well, we can't be too sure, but well, whatever evolution they will take, they might have an extra limb, or very sensitive color receptors in their eyes, or
That's
something
true.
like that.
I don't know. I don't really pay attention to like the evolution thing. I think I learned it in school, but that was about it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that was about it. But like, anyways, a monkey. Yeah, that once again, it has to be one smart monkey. Someone have had to tell the monkey to do it. I don't think that
Yeah,
either that or it's just I don't know the case of a dumb animal. I don't know. Yeah, but anyways, what else do I have to say about the monkey? And I think in a way monkeys are smart. Some of them even probably know what they're doing. But like at the end of the day, it's like I don't know. It's like either a human told the monkey to do all that, like the monkey did all that. But I don't know. I think a human either told the monkey to do all that, or you could just say that the monkey just didn't know what he was doing.
yeah. Or maybe the energy infrastructure is just very vulnerable to the point that animals could cause such disruptions like that.
Yeah, that's true. But is there anything else? But is there anything else in the news?
Yep, let's see. I just had something for a second. Billionaire's daughter can hand back £33 million moth-infested mansion. High Court rules.
Wait, hold on. Say that one more time.
Billionaire's daughter could hand back £33 million moth-infested mansion. High Court rules.
A moth-infested mansion.
Yes?
How did a mansion get moth-infested?
Who knows?
I'll be honest. Where do moths even come from?
I never thought about that.
It, it's like that's actually a good question. Where do moths even come from? Because like, how does it get to a point where a mansion is infested by moths?
There has to be some kind of climate or environment that moths can thrive immensely to the point it's basically an intense breeding ground for them.
Yeah, it is a bit weird. Like, I'll be honest, not that I'm that interested in it, but I'll probably look it up whenever I'm bored. I don't know, because I really don't know where moths come from. I don't even think I was even taught where moths come from. But I'm not gonna lie. How do a bunch of moths infiltrate an entire mansion?
Yeah, that's
I'm
a
just
very good question.
I'm just wondering. It's like I don't know, man. It's like I don't know. Where did they? I'm just a little flabbergasted here, man. Because like I'm just trying to figure out where could they have possibly come from.
Yeah.
Would you move into that mansion?
No.
I mean, like, I mean, if you were able to find this, I mean, if it was cheap, it was a mansion, and you were somehow able to get rid of the moths and find the source to where they come from.
Well, if that's the case, then yeah, maybe. Well, it depends on the mansion in question, because, well, I am very specific with what kind of home I like to live in.
Hmm. What kind of home would you like to live in?
Well, I would like to live in a home on the edge of a hill. Like,
Really? Are you
well,
serious?
why not? It gives me perspective and levels. I'm not talking a steep mountain.
Oh.
I'm talking of a gentle hill. Like the front entrance will be most homes will have the main entrance on the lowest floor. The home I want to live in is where the main entrance is not on the lowest floor. The house it's somewhere in the middle.
And it's just near a mountain? Like, is it near water too?
Yeah, there's gonna be a lake nearby as well.
Oh, okay, just a lake. Okay, just a lake.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted it to be like near, like, huge, like a huge, like, body of water.
No, no, not too big.
Got you. Okay, got you. I was about to say, because I don't know. It's like I thought you were really just thinking. All right, it's like I really just never mind.
Okay.
Oh, all right. But anyways, yeah. I mean that sounds nice. I mean, I would like to live near a lake too, but definitely not on a mountain though. I don't know. I definitely wouldn't want to live near a mountain. I'm being honest. Or on no near it, but not on it.
Okay.
Yeah, near it, but not. I'm not living on a mountain. Like you don't really know, because you never really know what's gonna happen. You don't know what storms are gonna hit. At least that's how I see it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like, if anyone wants to live on a mountain, then I say, just do it. I don't see other than like the storm thing or like tornadoes and all that stuff. I really don't see anything. I really don't see anything wrong with it. Yeah, I would say just don't make the mountain too high though. You know, just don't make this. Just don't live on a very high mountain. And also, yeah, that's all I would really say. But for the most part, I would say yeah, I mean, it's definitely an interesting place to live. I mean, it's like a mansion on a like a mountain. That's definitely an interesting place to like live. Would it be a mansion on a mountain, or would it just be like a regular house on
It'd be a mansion, but on a gentle hill.
a mountain?
It's not a steep mountain, but it would be on a hill where, at least to the point where it's at least a story high minimum.
Got you. All right, that I get that sounds reasonable. I understand. That sounds reasonable. Okay, a gentle
Yes.
hill that's a story high. Got you. All right. That actually sounds pretty good, I don't know. I also think it's because I mean, okay. I don't think I'm afraid of heights, but at the same time, it's like when I'm really high somewhere and I look down, it's like okay, that's high. But other than that, it's like I don't think I'm afraid of heights. It's just I don't know. That's me though.
Cool.
But is there anything else in the news?
Yes. Boston students protest government in action after deadly floods.
Hmm, interesting. The protest was about the deadly floods.
Yes, students rallied in Bosnia on Monday to demand accountability for deadly floods last year in a protest inspired by massive anti-corruption gatherings by fellow students that have paralyzed neighboring Serbia.
Well, that sounds like a protest that's worth something at least.
Yeah, good
Not
on them.
not protesting about gas and about
Yeah,
and about like not protesting about like gas or just like oil.
yeah. Well, climate change. We have many protests already about that.
Yeah, I mean Greta Thunberg is the like leading person in the climate change one, ain't she?
Yeah, yeah. Greta's carrying the climate change protest already, so we need something else to protest on.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I think it's just I don't. I can't determine if it's real or fake climate change. But if it is real, I just really I just don't know what to think of a climate change protest. I really don't.
Yeah, like I understand that it is important to take care of the environment that we live in because, well, what was life on Earth like before industrialization or urban planning and high rises and whatever concrete mess that we're living in?
Yeah, I mean the concrete mess is terrible. Back then we used to have to hunt for our food, but
Yes,
now we're living in big cities, and now we're living in modern society.
yes, we got
Absolutely.
access to technology where we could do whatever we want that we never
Yeah,
thought we did before.
yeah, we have and you know what the worst part is? We have to wear clothes now.
Clothes. Good grief.
Yeah, just like, well, why don't we just let it fly free? I mean, like, just, bro, it's like I just want to be a free spirited man. Don't you
Be one
understand
with
that?
nature.
Yeah, but just be one with nature. That's all I want, to be one with nature.
Exactly.
Like, like, why can't I just let? Why can't I just let? I'm not gonna say let it all hang out, but still, it's like I'm not gonna say that. But yeah, it's like it's just terrible. You know.
Yeah. But hey,
But
that's life.
yeah,
That's what we live in.
yeah. But in all seriousness, though, it has its ups and its downs. I think some old ways should never change, and certain old ways should change.
Yeah.
At least that's how I see it. It's like, for instance, it's like yeah, it's like because certain old ways are actually still valid, and they can be valid for the future as well. They can be valid for the future as well. But I know when things are obviously going to change, and it's gonna be a rarity that some old things are beyond change, can stand the test of time. I wonder what those old things are, though.
Well, look back in history will tell us all the answers we need to know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. What things stood the test of time that have not changed yet? That is the question.
That is a question, yes.
We'll figure that out eventually.
Yep.
But is there anything else in the news?
New York State bans DeepSeek from government devices.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why. And I feel like we've been down this road before.
What's your theory on why?
Well, firstly, China. Secondly, China. And thirdly, China. And also,
Ch-
China. Yes,
Are you telling me that they were the ones controlling GeekSeek?
DeepSeek.
DeepSeek. DeepSeek?
Yes.
I thought it was an American made
Oh
app
no, no, you're
or
not even
website.
close, my guy.
Man, China's always in our business, man. It's just it's
They
frustrating.
always are.
I don't really care. I don't. I mean,
I mean, at this point, how is it any worse than using American companies if they're just going to use our data and sell it to China anyway?
that's true. Yeah, that's true. I mean, look. Once again, if people are fine with China having their data, then it's whatever. It really is.
Whatevs.
I mean, it's not really hurting us so far. So I mean, it's really not. I mean, once again, if China wants to have our data, then so be it. Actually, not even so be it. I mean, I do get the concern. I get the concern. Let me not say so be it. I get the concern. I'm saying, like, for the people who don't care. I care, but to an extent, I don't care. I don't know.
So,
Yeah, it's like it just is what it is. Most apps pretty much collect our data.
and
I mean,
a technological AI race is going to happen at some point.
that's true. So, is there anything else in the news?
Tech companies raised more than 27 million to build infrastructure for kids' online safety.
There shouldn't even be a kids online safety because kids shouldn't even be online.
Exactly. But yeah, here we are.
I mean, yeah, like that's true. Here we are. Like, talking about kids safety online, even though kids should technically not even be online.
Yeah,
But hey, it is what it is after all.
and it was what it was.
In other news, new Apple product will launch this week. Here's what's coming. Apple is launching its first product of the year in just a few days. Pre-reporting from Mark Gurman. Here's what's coming, plus some launches that could surprise us. Seniors, don't pay for Wi-Fi. Wait, what? Oh no, this is just an ad. Apple's next iPhone is almost here. The iPhone SE hasn't been updated since 2022, and it's overdue for an upgrade. The new iPhone SE4 is expected to launch this week. Interesting. And will pack a ton of great features. Don't care about the features. OLED edge-to-edge display. OLED edge-to-edge. OLED edge-to-edge display. Face ID and notch. A18 chip. US, I really don't care. Anyways, yeah. It's like, Power Powerbeat Pro 2. Powerbeats Pro 2. Gurman also says there's at least one or more Apple product launches this week. Powerbeats Pro 2. Apple and Beats have been teasing the new Powerbeats Pro 2 for a while, including recent sightings on Tiger Woods and Roy, but I don't know how to say his last name. But yeah, you get the idea. Pretty much Apple is launching some new products this week. So, would you buy any of those things?
No.
Yeah, same here. And well, no. Just no. Maybe just if I need an upgrade for my phone, but that's about it. I don't really care. But yeah, is there anything else in the news?
Tracking the prices of grocery staples amid trade talks. Avian flu outbreak.
Hold on. Say that one more time. The flu outbreaks?
Avian flu outbreaks.
Avian flu outbreaks. Huh. What is the avian flu? Is that just a regular flu with like a name in the front?
Well, if there's something else beyond flu, there's got to be more than just a flu.
I mean, yeah, they're calling it a flu. That's why I'm saying it's a flu.
Yeah, but maybe it's a different strand of the flu family.
Honestly, who knows?
Well, we just gotta wait a few months before you-know-what drops, and we're gonna be stuck in our homes for the next year or two, maybe a little less, but that's just me.
Yeah, that's true. I 100% agree with that. And for the most part, we're just gonna have to wait and see what this flox flu is. But I mean, hey, nothing has stopped us yet.
No, not yet.
Is there anything else in the news?
World leaders, tech CEOs together at AI summit in Paris.
World leaders text each other?
World leaders, CEOs, and scientists from about 100 countries are meeting at a high-stakes AI summit.
AI summit. I wonder what it's gonna be about.
Well, besides AI, it's anyone's guess what else it could be.
It is called the AI summit.
Yeah.
I mean, but who knows, man? Maybe they might just call it that and then just end up like just kind of talking about nothing.
Yeah.
That's what some people do. So hey, who knows? That might be what they do.
Exactly.
But is there anything else in the news?
Israel claims to have hit a tunnel between Lebanon and Syria used by Hezbollah.
Hezbollah?
Hezbollah, yeah.
Is that a country or what is that?
Okay. Lebanon and Syria are countries. Hezbollah is a military organization. That's at least a neutral way of describing it.
I seriously wonder where they come up with these names.
Me too. But there's always history behind what the names are, so that's that.
That's true. I mean, if you really have the time, you can look into the history, but I don't feel like it. Actually, no. I could. I really could. Not going to, but I could. That's all I gotta say. But anyways, yeah, it's like for the most part, that is interesting stuff. That is interesting about like Israel, though. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Israel's just been in the news a lot. It just has. It's almost a little tiring. Like
It is, yeah.
Like seriously, it's almost honestly a little tiring that Israel is always in the news. I don't even hate Israel. It's just like I don't know. We just hear about it way too much.
It has to end.
Eventually, it will. But who knows when that will be.
Only time will tell.
Yeah, really only time will tell. And yeah, it just gets so tiring. I'll be honest, I do wonder how some people on Twitter manage to talk about Israel all the time. Whether if they're trashing it, whether if they're praising it. How do they manage to talk about Israel all the time? I really don't get it. It gets so boring. I don't know if
It
it's
sure
because
does.
I don't know if it's just because I'm a different person, but it's like, bro, it just gets boring. Like, shoot.
Well, you're not the only one. I think not everyone, but I think there will be some people who also would be sick and tired of hearing about Israel, Hamas, and whatever groups are involved in this conflict, especially especially Russia and Ukraine. People are sick and tired of hearing about that as well, because, well, violence is never the answer, but it is profitable to an extent.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I just can't talk about one thing all the time. I just can't talk about one thing all the time. I don't know how some people can do it, but hey, more power to them because I can't do it.
Yeah.
But what else is in the news?
Judge blocks Venezuelan migrants from being sent to Guantanamo Bay.
Why did he or she?
A, fe- a federal court blocked the Trump administration from sending 3 Venezuelan immigrants to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, for detention. The men accused of having ties to Tren de Aragua remain in New Mexico. Lawyers argued that transferring the immigrants would create uncertainty surrounding access to legal process and counsel.
Hmm. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Yes?
Hmm. Hamas says they will postpone next scheduled hostage release, claiming Israel broke terms of ceasefire deal. Interesting.
Yeah.
Hamas accuses Israel of ceasefire violation and says it will delay next hostage release. The sides have carried out 5 swaps since the ceasefire went into effect last month, freeing 21 hostages over 730 prisoners. The next exchange was scheduled for Saturday, releasing 3 Israeli hostages in exchange for hundreds. Wait, releasing 3 Israeli hostages in exchange for hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. What? How does that? How is that fair?
Well, that's life, whether we like it or not.
Three for hundreds. 3 prisoner hostages for hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. How's that fair? I don't get it. Never mind. Okay. You know what? Moving on. What else is in the news?
Let's see. AI experts react after Google amends AI weapons plan.
What were their reactions?
Google has dropped its pledge to not build AI systems for weapons. The company cited the need for free countries to use its technologies for national security purposes due to an increasingly complex geopolitical landscape.
Interesting. Interesting. What do you think about that?
Well, for once, I'll give this to Google. I respect them standing their ground for not contributing to any geopolitical tensions.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
No, it
I
does. It
suppose
doesn't. It doesn't change the fact that they have been a very greedy corporation and has access to a lot of people's data and then sell it off to China. But at least,
so. China's getting our stuff anyways.
yes, China's getting our stuff anyway. What else is new?
It's always China, isn't it?
Yep, China is always in the discussions.
Either way, I wouldn't imagine why. I'll be honest, man. I mean, at this rate, if China is already getting our data regardless, I would say, man, like I would say just let TikTok be on its own, bro. I don't know. It's like if you're really going to be consistent, I would say like just stop. I would say like I don't know. The consistency just isn't there because people were concerned about China getting our data through TikTok, but Google is still selling our data to China. So either way, China is getting our data regardless.
Yeah, it doesn't add up.
It really doesn't add up. I mean, people were so concerned about TikTok. Yet Google is selling our data to China. So what's the difference?
Well, the only
Google,
difference is American companies will be profiting from selling data. Well, China, well, it's already going there anyway, so yeah, there's that.
let me get this straight. Okay. The US isn't directly profiting off of TikTok, taking our data. They wanted to get rid of it. But if they sell it to an American company, they can profit off of getting our data.
Well,
Or
that's
selling our data to China.
well, that's one of the reasons why the whole TikTok fiasco is going on. I think it comes down to the fact that the way that TikTok's algorithm works, and TikTok being the platform where a lot of pop culture, and most importantly, TikTok being the major source for a lot of news in the past year or two, it is becoming really about what goes on and what is being covered by mainstream media of the Western world. And because of the impact that TikTok has had, bringing light to such stories that people, the higher ups, do not want people of the public to know about. The United States government is doing what they can to ensure they have some control of the same said platform that is bringing to light many news stories, and also because Meta has been paying, or at least having extensive negotiations with the United States government to ensure that Meta platforms have their presence in the global market.
Very interesting.
I mean, the day that it was announced that TikTok was taken off the app stores, a lot of people in the US have said, we don't care which platform we're going to relocate to if TikTok is banned. We are not going to meta platforms such as Instagram or Facebook, etc. That is the issue. That is the problem going on today. And the reason why people are migrating over to other platforms that isn't TikTok, it's all about Meta. And also the reason why Mark Zuckerberg is trying to get on Trump's good side, so that way he maintains his social media dominance, not just in the United States, but also the world, for the most part.
That's true. That is true.
Indeed.
So is there anything else in the news?
Hawaii court rules against insurance companies in Maui wildfire, allowing $4 billion settlements to proceed.
Hold on, say that one more time.
Hawaii court rules against insurance companies in Maui wildfire, allowing $4 billion settlement to proceed.
Interesting.
Yes.
I really have no other opinion about that. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
So, what else is there? Oh, wait, let me check. So, you sent something in the chat and it said Ye says he was offered $2 million to scam his fans using crypto.
Yes.
So, what were your initial thoughts when you first saw that post?
Well, when I first saw this post, well, it just solidifies the fact that if you serve enough value to society and enough value to someone's plan or system to profit off masses or members of the public, I understand why people would approach Ye or other well-known, notable celebrities, because they have the influence where people are drawn in and are willing to do whatever they've been told by said celebrities.
Interesting.
Just like with the Haktua girl when she launched her meme coin. People didn't know that they were going to lose out. They just realized, oh my gosh, Haktua coin has launched. I'm going to make so much money out of it. And then when the dark reality came to hit, they lost their minds. And you know what? Serves them right. They should have known better.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, you're gonna have to just blame the person for falling for it.
Yeah. But that just shows, if someone has a recognizable brand, it is likely that it can be exploited to the point that masses, members of the public, are willing to go with it and not question it at all.
That's true. I mean, like, if you're not even questioning it, man, then like, you're just shooting yourself in the foot there.
Yes.
But hey, man, that's what they get. Feel bad for them, but
Indeed.
that's what they get.
Absolutely.
So, is there anything else in the news?
Musk says he has no plans to buy TikTok.
What would Musk rename TikTok? Huh? X Talk.
X Talk or TalkX.
You know what? Musk should worry about running the country. He should worry about Twitter. Actually, you know what? How does he have time to be on Twitter?
Well, he has, as humanly possible, realistically, he does have a team that does handle things whilst he's doing other things. There is no human possibility for him to be on Twitter, operate Doge, and be in charge of whatever company he's running all at the same time. So at some point, if he's absent for whatever duties he has, whatever duty he should have, there's going to be teams doing the operations for him in his absence.
All right, you got me there. All right, yeah, you got me there. You're right. He is a billionaire. I'm just assuming he's doing all this stuff himself. I forgot. But yeah,
Yeah,
realistically, he does have a team. All right, so you know what? Fine, Elon, you get this one.
exactly.
But get off Twitter, though. Come on, man.
It's draining your brain away.
75-year sentence. U.S. man receives longest ever prison term for facilitating dogfights. Huh, interesting. Dogfights?
Dogfights? Am I hearing that right? Dogfights?
Yes, dogfights.
Good grief.
Thank God. Sorry, I was looking at something else.
Okay.
But anyways, dogfights. And that is a long sentence. I'm not gonna lie. I have 3 dogs. Man, I'm not gonna lie. It's a good thing that I'll be honest. I mean, some people would say that he shouldn't have that long sentence that long of a sentence because of dog fights. And I do understand though. I love dogs. He should definitely still have a long sentence, but maybe like a good 57 years, 100 years. Actually, no. You know what? I'm gonna assume the dog fights were extremely brutal. And just killed both dogs on each side. So, you know what? Yeah, he deserves that sentence. He deserves that. But yeah,
Yeah.
a man seems he received the longest ever prison term for facilitating dogfights. A Georgia man, Vincent Lamarck Burrell, was sentenced to 475 years in prison for raising over 100 pit. He raised over 100 pit bulls for illegal dogfights. I'll be honest, why do people do that? Make other animals fight each other.
Well, one thing that comes to mind is for other people's amusement and entertainment.
Yeah, that's true. You said for other people's entertainment?
Yes, because I think in Spain, for many years, actually many decades, it goes way back, there are usually bullfights around Spain, and it's very popular there. And and to this day, it's still going, bullfights in Spain. In fact, yeah, bull bullfighting is, in my opinion, iconic to Spain's culture. Because when I think of Spain, I think of uh, the 2 biggest soccer football clubs across Europe, and of course bullfighting, and of course a lovely summer getaway from the depressing weather of the United Kingdom.
The depressing weather.
Yeah, so the UK's weather is absolutely miserable.
Is it really that miserable?
Well, at least most part in the north of England
I
and
mean,
Scotland.
I heard it rains a lot.
It does, yeah. Especially the city where I'm from. It is even named the rainy capital of my city.
I'm not gonna lie. I think if I had to live in a place where it rained a lot, the least I can be is in a the least I can be is somewhere where it's peaceful, not a city. I don't know. It's like
Yeah.
so that I can have a front porch to sit and watch the rain at least. I don't know. It's like it'll still be depressing, but it would be peaceful. I wonder, has it always been that way though?
Well, yeah. It was just more recently. It's been brought to light more frequently than not.
Got you. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I'd want to live in a place where it's mostly rain. But actually, Nah. How about the summer? Does it end in the summer?
Well, in the summer, it is sunny and there's actually decent temperature, but it's still going to be rainy at least once every week or two. But that's it. It's mostly sunny, but it's still going to rain at times because of photosynthesis.
Okay, got you. Yeah, I mean, a place where it's rain. I don't know. I think I like the mutual neutral weather in New York though. I don't know. It's like it has its seasons where it's sunny, rainy, snowy, fall, all that stuff. So I would say, man, I don't think I'd really want to move from New York. I'd probably just get out of the city. I don't know. New York is always going to be my home.
Yeah,
I just have to find somewhere where it's not as expensive, but actually no, it's New York. It's always going to be expensive. Where it's a reasonable price, at least a reasonable price. It's expensive, but it's not that expensive to the point where it's like, okay, where you'll stress over it. You know what I mean?
yeah, indeed.
All right. So, is there anything else in the news?
Yes. Apparently, there are two sides of Japan. There's the west of Japan, where electricity is at 60 hertz, and then the east of Japan, where electricity is at 50 hertz.
Interesting. Interesting. Like, I'll be honest, I didn't know there were that many parts of Japan.
Well, there are many prefectures in Japan, but in terms of different halves, one being at 60 hertz of electricity and the other half's 50 hertz, which is very interesting.
That's true. That's true. That is true. That is extremely interesting. I'll be honest. I'd probably visit Japan, but I wouldn't move to Japan.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, like, they have nice looking women.
yeah, they do.
They do. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Anyways, yeah, it's like, Japan is definitely a place that I would like to visit. Here's the thing. I don't believe I'm ever going to visit it, but it's a place that I would like to visit.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, like, they have a lot of things. Games, food. I'd like to try ramen directly from Japan too. I want to try the authentic Ichiraku ramen. Ichiraku ramen.
Ichiraku.
Okay.
Yes,
And
Ichiraku.
like it, and try that Naruto they put in the ramen. And I'm not talking about the anime either. It's like I think they have a they have some food called Naruto that they put in the ramen also. I want to try that as well. It looks good. It actually looks pretty good. But is there anything else in the news?
I think that's us.
All right. Cool.